Bon dia.
Bon dia.
Good morning. Welcome to the Blended Kitchen. I'm Barry.
Beth.
Today we're going to fix a roast, a pot roast. One of my favorite meals. And in Passover, we usually like to do a lamb roast, but the grocery store is kind of difficult in finding lamb this year. They said I had a special order or something, so we're going to do a beef roast instead. Take it on, Beth.
All right. Now this meal you can use, it's a good one for Shabbat because as you can see, it's going to be a slow cooked meal. You just throw it all in one pot and you let it do its thing. And when you're ready to eat, you pull it out and let it sit and then you eat. Shabbat, Passover, any special occasion. This is like the piece de resistance. When we have company, we do this because everything gets cooked together and it looks really pretty when it's done. I bought a 3-pound sirloin tip roast, and they're called oven roast. There's a difference between them. Barry said pot roast. This is an oven roast, and they are different. A pot roast sits on top of the stove and cooks in boiled water, but an oven roast goes in the oven and cooks. And depending on your cut of meat, you'll get bad results if you use the wrong one and the wrong method. And I've had that happen to me a lot through my life because I'm not very proficient in cuts of meat, but I made sure that I got an oven roast this time. And it's, again, a sirloin tip, and we're going to sear it on the stovetop first. And then I have preheated my oven to 280 degrees Fahrenheit. This is going to slow cook all day. It's not a fast cook. And the key to this recipe is to leave it alone once you put it in the oven. Don't mess with it except to check on the liquid levels.
Extra liquid.
Yeah, to make sure that it stays hydrated. You don't want the soup to boil all the way out or your meat's going to get dry. So I put it in my pretty pot for presentation at the beginning, but I'm going to take this baby out because there's a couple things we need to do. Just going to set it on this plate. This meat is wet. If you don't want it to spit at you when you're searing, you need to pat it down, or it's going to have all that pop up from the water. So we're just taking a paper towel and we're just dabbing it down, drying it off. And then I'm going to clean this out of this pot because it has a little bit in there. What we're going to do is take this over to the stove and we're going to get it warmed up with some olive oil. And I'm going to take cooking olive oil, not the good stuff, not you use for salads. And I'm just going to put some in the bottom of the pan and get it hot. I'm also going to add some garlic and herb spice that I got from the grocery store. I like this on meat. It's kind of my go-to here for the last few months. I'm just going to add that in. That will flavor the oil so that it will get cooked up on your meat. But just watch this because you don't want that to burn or you'll be in trouble. Just get it good and doused in salt. This is the salt. Yeah. Since it's a big thick roast, you want to make sure if you're able to eat salt that it's good and saturated. Here's some sizzling going. And here's pepper. I like ground pepper and salt when I'm cooking. Okay. So this guy is going in and we're going to sear all the sides, even this side. It's not just the top and the bottom. Okay. And you can hear it sizzling. That's what it's supposed to do. This shouldn't take too terribly long. Hey, Barry.
Yeah, I hear the sizzle.
We probably need to get that wine bottle opened when you are ready. Because we'll be assembling this pretty quickly after this is seared.
Set this here and I'll come back. Yeah, so there on the apple, the Devil's Coffee. One of Dad's favorite wines. And it's a Malbec. We use it to drink and cook. I personally believe in cooking with the wines that I want to drink.
Hey, Barry.
Cooking with the wines I don't want to drink. Yeah.
We're going to look at the camera over here. I want you to see that the searing. So you just need to brown it like this. And you can see the garlic. Okay, now we're just going to stand it up and get all of the sides here brown. And again, it's just to brown the outside. This is going to seal in the flavor of the beef. I'm going to turn the heat down just a tad because we're getting a little burnt part down here. But I'll show you, when we put the liquid in, we're going to be able to scrape that off. And it'll go into the liquid and we'll have flavor. See there? And this, quite frankly, is the most actual cooking you're going to have to do with this meal. Just to get these sides. And I see, I didn't notice this before, but I see that this sirloin tip has twine in it, so it's holding it together. So when we go to eat this, we're going to have to remember to cut that out.
You're going to keep it while it's cooking all together.
Yeah. Okay. A little bit more down here on the bottom. Okay. That's probably good enough. Now I'm just going to turn this all the way down on low. Now, here's how we assemble this. This is going to stay in the middle. And what we're going to do now is add our vegetables. And Barry, can you cut that up while I get the other one?
No, I'm a photographer. You cut it up.
Barry's a photographer. He's going to make me work. I've just got a half an onion that we had left over. You can use a whole one, a half, a quarter, whatever you like.
I'm going to have to cut it so small.
And just cut it into like chunks. And this will cook a little bit while it's getting ready, which it won't hurt a thing at all. So there we go. Scissors. Now I'm expediting this with ease. I have got a bag of baby carrots. We're just gonna dump those in. For Barry and me, we don't need this whole bag. I'm just gonna put enough vegetables for us. But if you
put extra. Put extra. I love carrots.
So, okay. So
and potatoes.
We're just going to forget what I said. We're just going to throw them all in.
Onions and wine. Oh.
So all the vegetables are just going to cuddle up on this meat. Make it a nice blanket around the meat. Now, I've got a bag of little bit baby potatoes, and these have been pre-washed. But you better check your labels, because potatoes always need to be washed. But these, lucky for me, have been pre-washed. And see the little tiny baby red potatoes. Now, the first liquid we're going to throw in here is a can of diced tomatoes. And I like to use the ones that have basil, garlic, and oregano. But, you know, it doesn't matter. Just as long as you have some diced tomatoes. This is just going to add another level of flavor to the whole dish. And you don't have to put these in really, but that's what I like. And it's going to make the gravy sauce a little bit better. I have some beef broth. We're going to stick that in there. Not the whole thing, because we're going to put some wine in too. But you want to be able to see this liquid come up to the level of these vegetables.
Room for the wine.
Yeah. And so that's about half of that. And now we're going to pull the wine in.
Okay.
And we're going to get it up to the level of the veggies. About like that. And there we go. Let that meat drink that wine. Looks good, doesn't it?
It does.
Now, just to top it all off and to add some salt and pepper to the top here, and it will absorb into that gravy. I call it gravy. It's just a sauce, but it's terribly good. So, there you have it. That's it. I'm going to get the lid.
I'm going to get some glasses for a little bit of wine.
This is where Barry comes in handy. He's the brawn. I can't lift this pot. It's very heavy. It's cast iron. It's better to do your roast, if you can, in a cast iron pot. But if you don't, that's fine. It just seals flavor in a different way. But you use whatever you have.
Okay.
Okay?
Here. Hold the camera.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Towel back up.
And there she goes. Now, because that roast was so big, I'm using the big oven. But when I have a little smaller cut, less size, I'll make it in my convection oven because it has a slow cooker functionality on it. Comes out just as good. And I have a smaller pot that goes in there. So, now, ooh, that one's going crazy.
Set it down.
That stays in the oven for like 6 to 8 hours. So it's 9 o'clock in the morning here. So it will be ready at dinner time. The only time you go in there to check it is just to look and see if it's got enough liquid still in it. Otherwise, do not touch it. And you'll know it's done when you can take that fork and the meat comes apart without any help from the fork. It just comes apart. And that's when you know it's done.
We will come back.
6 to 8 hours from now, we will come back and we will show you the result.
Alec used to say, in 2 and 2. L'chaim.
L'chaim. All right. It's been 7-ish hours, and Barry's gonna pull this roast out of the oven. Let's see what we got.
First thing, my glasses got all fogged up. Woo-wee. You ready? Are you ready? Count down with me.
Okay.
Achat, shtayim, shalosh. Do-do-do-do. Ooh, look at that.
That is what we are supposed to see when we open up the pot. Now, here is the test.
Let me get a quick camera here. I want to see exactly.
Here is the test.
Okay, let's see the test. Oh, shut up.
Look at this.
Look at that. That is some good stuff.
Let's set it here on this plate. Let this cool down for just a second.
Oh boy.
Okay, calm down, Shulam.
This is a meal.
Mm-hmm.
And fresh challah bread.
Ooh, yes.
On Friday night with a glass of wine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Soak up all that wonderful gravy and juices.
Yep. That worked out like it was supposed to, y'all.
Tender, flavorful. Oh.
That might be too hot.
I'm not going to taste the potato, but
Yeah.
too hot, burn you.
Too hot.
Look at all that wonderful.
Now, this will amaze your guests. And you can serve it at the table real fancy, or people can come by and just pull it out of the pot. But tomorrow, I'm going to show you what we do with all this leftover stuff. We make a soup.
If you have leftovers, sometimes we do,
sometimes you
sometimes we don't.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes a great, great soup.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, this is the Blended Kitchen. Shalom, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.